Hello guys, today we learn how to create a RESTful WCF web service with post method using ASP.NET C#. Here we are about talking ASP.NET C# means web application using web application. To implement this you have required Visual Studio 2015, SQL Server 2012 or any other upper version of both. Let us consider we have a web service. You can see here like EmployeeService.svc get EMP by ID. So here when we pass through the Postman, we will get the response from the web service. So here you can see passing also parameter to get the record of one employee full detail. So you can see there is raw and there is XML and passing here XML data like imply XML and S double A, and here you can see the output like when you click on send button you can see the output like employee details, employee ID and details of employee ID 1 like employee ID, name, salary, employee CT. So here see 200k that is okay status and this is the output. Let us understand what is XMLNS is used for binding namespace and is not XML is binding namespaces and is not a cell bound to any namespace. Means here you can see that is XML parameter you are passing put XML NS equal to day. That is optional and you can. Now let us see what is web service WCF. Let us see what is WCF Web Services. WCF is a framework for building service-oriented applications and it allows communication between different applications and various protocols. Now how can we create open Visual Studio 2015, add a new empty website and add one default.aspx page. And then after add a new WCF Web Service.cs page form through the add new one. There will be three pages added in the project solutions. One is employee service, one is EmployeeService.svc, second one is interface IEmployeeService.cs, and third one is implementation of this interface EmployeeService.cs. And also one file added Web.config file to set the endpoints. So let us see service contract. IEmployeeService attribute define the interface as a WCF service. OperationContract attributes mark the method as a service operations and WebInvoke attributes configure the HTTP post method and XML format for request and response from the web service. Also you can put either HTTP GET, either HTTP POST according to whatever you want to make the web service. Now let us start. Open Visual Studio 2015, go to File, New Website, put sp.net website and here you can put name of the project like WCF Web Service with post method and click on OK. So when you click project web WCF web service post will be created, and you can see here now there is web.config file. Presently there is one configuration opening and closing it, and there is system.web. In system.web you can see compilation debug true target framework 4.6.1 and runtime also a framework is 4.6.1. When add a WCF service, this web config file will be changed, modified according to the WCF, and then you need to put the endpoints in the service. Now let us see. Add a WCF page, like go right click and add new one. Then you search here, or you can find here. When you find WCF, so you can see here WCF service Visual C sharp, and you can put here name of the WCF service. So what you will put here, name of the web service, employee service. Name of the WCF service, employee service dot SVC. Now click on add. So here you can see they are asking for the file has saved changes inside the editor and has been externally. Do we want to reload it? It is talking about web.config file, so you can click on yes to all. So you can see here there is three file will be created, like employee service. You can see another one is interface, IEmployee service, and then implementation of this employee service, IEmployee service, and this is employee service. Now also check the config file. So when you will see the config file, you can see there is one start tab will be added, like service system.service model, and we have yes. In this system.service model, you will put the endpoints. Now let us start. First go to interface and make a operation contract. So here I have put like WebInvoke method equal post, request format equal to web message dot XML, and response format web message format dot XML, and body style you can put here web message body style dot where. There is many option here for web body styles. Only I put here dot where, so response will be sent. Request will be sent through the body also and get this response. And after that, I have put URI template, so that is customized. Whatever you want to put here, you can change it. And accordingly, also there is. I'm taking the XML element get imply by ID. I have put imply.emp. That that is object, so also need to define this object in a data contact with data member. First there is there is error, so we need to add service.models, that will be added. For also XML element we need to add text.system.xml, so also this will be added. Now go to employee service. There's you can see this something I get error, so need to implement the interface, implement interface. So there you will get XML element get employee by ID, employee EMP. So first we need to remove these which are already created. Now there is some error like employee to make it like object with get set method. For this let us put like data contract. I put here name space equal to double A. You can see here in previously like for passing the parameter through the body I put XML and put XML is equal to double A. Double A that is optional but you can put here to identify the uh, data contact class imply for data member so that can be easily accessible. In here you can see in Windows Communication Foundation a data contact is a key concept used for defining the structure of data that is exchanged between a client and service. It ensures that data is serialized and deserialized in a manner that is consistent and comparable between different systems. Definition of this. Okay. So that will be removed. Now here you can see I put XML document XML doc equal to new XML doc. Here I am putting a static later you put dynamic which can be data come from and convert into XML doc file. So here you can see I put one XML like employee details, employee that is child tag, then employee ID. This employee ID take from here passing via through the client or postman. After that employee and employee details. No. Now also need to set the endpoints in web.config files. Open click on web.config files and put here like services then service then put here endpoints. In endpoints you put the like address. So here you can see service put name equal to employee service whatever you put like you can see EmployeeService.cs. Then put here behavior configuration default. Then host you need to put and host base address and base address. Add base address equal to your local host. Yeah. Then after that here I put endpoints. You put address equal to blank. Binding equal to web HTTP binding. Contract equal to IEmployeeService. That is interface name and behavior configuration you can put web behavior. Also need to put one endpoint address max binding max HTTP binding and contract I metadata exchange. Here you can see web behavior. In web behavior need to put endpoint behaviors. In endpoint behaviors behavior name equal to web behavior and also need to put web HTTP which can be accessed through the HTTP or HTTPS and through the web HTTP binding it can be restful way you can call this web service. That's it in the setting up the web config file. Also you can put here behavior name, that is default, whatever you can put here, like this will be default. So need care about setting the endpoints in the web config file. So here you can see service model which all already added. So after that, when you add the WCF service, need to add this endpoint like services, then service name, employee service, behavior configuration default, and put host, and in host there is base addresses. In base address also need add base address equal to, that is local system or your production URL you can put. After that, there need to add endpoint address equal to blank, binding WebHTTP binding, and contact imply service behavior configuration web behavior. And endpoints address max HTTP binding metadata. And after that, also this will be automatically added like behaviors need to one put to this one only endpoints behavior. In endpoint behaviors, you can put behavior name equal to web behavior. Also need to put a web HTTP, so that can be this web service will be accessed through the HTTP or HTTPS. And closing of behaviors and closing of endpoint behavior. Then after that, there is behavior name equal to default, so you need to put here. Now this WCF web service also you need one like default page, add new one, there is default page means web form, and click on add button. So and after that you need to restart it and run it. So this service will be running now. Now open Postman. So here our port address this one, so need to put here this URL, this one, and service name implies service.svc, and that is method name get emp, and there will be post method. Also need to point one debug point in the employee service, so check whether data will be come or not. So I put a debug point in interface of interface implementation like employee service. Now click on, you can see there is Postman, and then after that you need to on send button. So when I click send button, so that debugger point will be hit here, and you can see in employee there is one record which are passing through the body. Also need to add bodies. You can see I have added raw XML and employee XML is equal to double A, employee ID 1 and this one. So when I have clicked this parameter which are passing through the XML, Postman body will come here, and after that I have run this and say here get the value of the parameter which are passed through the body of a Postman. So now click and continue. So here you can see we will get the data from the web service, and like employee details, employee ID, employee details. So that's where this service will be implemented, but through the statics and passing parameters. Now we write a code which come data from the database. Now comment this one. Now I put the which can be fetch data from database and return to the client. Now let us see like that the object imply MP. So here you can pass in XML many parameters, imply ID, imply name, whatever you have required. Now let us see. In integer imply ID equal to imply ID dot imply. Then here you can see the connection. So need to add the namespace system.sql client, and that is database connection. Here you can see data source, desktop, initial catalog, user ID and password you can put in database connection. Then after that passing one SQL query. So I have write string SQL equal to select star from employee where employee ID equal to plus employee ID which can be fetched from here object. And after that need to create a data set. So data set ds equal to new data set. Now add a namespace for system.data. Then we need to create a SQL adapter instance. So SQL adapter DA equal to new SQL adapter SQL strings and connection string. After that we need to fill the data in data set. So we write DA dot fill DS and imply details. You can put here name of the data set. Then we need to create a XML document. Then element. So what will be output required? You can see here. This is the XML output need to made database. Now let us see. XML document XML doc equal to new XML document to create a root element. So XML element root equal to XML doc dot create element. Then name of the root element implied details. You can see that is implied details. Then this root element need to add in the root. So XML doc dot append child root that will be added in root like this one. Also need to add imply. So first we need to fill the data table from dataset. So get the data table from dataset. We define data table, make object data table, ds.table, imply details, which are the database, dataset name. Then we iterate through each data row and create a XML element. So for each data row object in data table dot row. Now create to what this imply tag child of this parent. So create a imply element. Simply we do XML element XML means imply make object XML dot create element. Same way we can create child element like imply. Then after that we need to append. So simply where need to append in root. So root dot append child. Then imply. So that imply will be append in the imply root element. Then after need to add create this child. So same way also you can do like create and append child element. These child elements will be append into where in this imply tag. So create a child element, XML element, imply ID, XML dot create element means imply ID. Here you can see imply ID. Then we will take the data from data row means database. So here you should set imply id dot inner text equal to row imply id dot to string. Then after getting data from the database to the data row, need to append in the employee, means in this one. So we only put employee dot append child employee ID. So this will be created like employee ID. Same way also need to create employee name, salary and employee city. So same way we can see XML element employee name, XML dot create element employee name. Then set the value employee name dot inner text row emp name dot string. Then append to this employee. So we put here employee dot append child employee name. Same way we can put here for the salary and for the employee city. You can see. Now after that we define get the value which are created. So XML string equal to XML doc dot inner XML dot to string. So whatever you have created, the XML element can be string stored in the XML string. After need to create return a like XML element. So we define here new XML doc, convert XML string to XML element. For return, we define where doc equal to new XML document. After that, there is a load method like document.load XML string. That string will be loaded in this XML doc, and after that you can put a return doc1 dot document element. So XML element will be returns. Now go to here and we can see post method in Postman, and that is the URL. And here I am passing a XML parameter as XML object. So I put raw and XML and imply XMLs equal to a, that is personal. You can put whatever you name, whatever you want. After putting this, also need to map this one in interface, that is data contact namespace equal to double A, and that is the making a get set of this imply with data member. You can see here. After that, when you put here, now click on send button. There is issue like internal server error, so need to run this web service again and click on send button. So need to put here debugger point and click again like send. So you can see here in this method getting MP by ID imply name EMP, which are passing this parameter through the body for Postman. So we are getting this value, and F10 you press so that you can also check whether data set will be filled or not. So this record will be filled from the database. You can see here in table employee details 1 employee name Raj, salary, employee city we are getting. After that, I have created a root element. So you can see root element will be created like name employee details. Then need to dataset convert to data table. So also this will be done and check whether this value have or not. So data table value will be filled. Now for each data row in data table, we will create a XML element. So here root child of root will be created, then child element will be created here. So after that there is one record. So XML string you can see here, this will be created. Now need to return this XML element. So I have defined one new XML doc, then load this XML string, means convert XML string to XML element. So this will be done and click continue. So here you can get the value from database. So here you can see what employee details, employee ID, name, salary, employee city, and employee closing time, and this check whether this value is valid or not, which are getting from the database. Now click on google.com, then here put here XML viewer and click on JSON formatter here. So here you get XML viewer. Now put here, paste here. Like I paste employee details, employee ID, employee name, cell, employee CT, and employee ID. Now check whether this is valid or not. Click on validate date. So this is valid. On format beautify. So that's way we can create a WCF service with post method using ASP.NET C#. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.